Hey guys, my name is Santorfo. Some of you might know me from the FIFA Discord, and I'm here to give you a quick tutorial on how to use either PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 controllers on FIFA 20. Um, a lot of you might already have tried to use other software, such as DS4 Windows for PlayStation 4, or other kinds of various software for PlayStation 3. Um, I wasn't originally going to include PlayStation 3 controllers in this tutorial, but the my reasoning behind this is that I don't actually own a PlayStation 4 controller, but the process is quite similar. So I decided to use my old PS3 controller, which I don't use anymore. I have an Xbox One controller, which, by the way, if you do have the possibility to get one, I strongly recommend, because using an Xbox controller on the computer massively improves your experience with video games, because you don't need to do all this setting up before you actually play the game. And FIFA especially is a game where it is especially not difficult but confusing, and the hoops you need to jump through to get stuff to work with it are very annoying. So I'm going to go through the steps for the PlayStation 3 controller. Any software that I use throughout this process, I will leave links to in the description. And if you have any doubts after you watch the video, you can contact me on Discord, and I will gladly help you with anything. So, to start out, with the PS3 controller, you need to download SCP Toolkit. A lot of you might have heard of this software already. This is the GitHub page created by the developer. You just download the CXE. This creates a kind of setup area for the PlayStation 3 controllers. It also supports PlayStation 4 controllers, but I don't actually know how the drivers work for the PlayStation 4 controller, so this might be different. I don't think you need to do this for the PlayStation 4 controller. I have helped friends and other people use their PlayStation 4 controllers, and they didn't need to install anything. In any case, a lot of you might be seeing this tutorial after trying to use DS4 Windows with FIFA, and it failed. So in that case, this will work perfectly fine without any of this. Regardless, you'll need to do this for the PlayStation 3 controller, but you should be fine with the PlayStation 4 controllers. Once you get to this screen, you'll probably not have the controller initialized. Also, you will need to disable driver signature. I can't actually capture myself doing that, so I'll just try to include a link in the description to a video where it's explained how you do that. You need to do that before you start any of this. I should have mentioned it before. Anyways, once you get to this screen, you should see an uninitialized DualShock controller. Just initialize all, and then it'll be really quick. It'll come here. And then next page. This is for Bluetooth. This doesn't work as much as I want this to work. Like, it's just a pain in the ass. I wouldn't recommend. So obviously my controller is connected with a USB cable, as you would. You need to install the virtual Xbox 360 controller driver. This is pretty simple. Then the Windows service, also pretty simple. And then that's it for SCP Toolkit. Your controller, if you come to the Device Manager, should now show up. First, it's gonna show up here. So like, it'll just show up here. And if you try to open like controllers, it won't show up. So as you can see, it just says it's a USB device. Apologies, because this is in Portuguese, I can't switch my Windows language just for this. So, but now, down here, you'll see Xbox 360 peripherals. So, what this is doing, it's just installed a dummy driver for Xbox 360 controller, so that your computer thinks that you have a 360 controller connected. So after this, for most games, you would be done. But FIFA is dumb, and FIFA is not like other games. So, whilst many people would just use DS4 Windows like normal people, or just use SCP Toolkit and be done with it, you need Xbox X360C. So this is a Xbox 360 controller emulator. This is very old. I don't know when this was launched, but this has been around for ages, and it's a very useful piece of software. So what you do in FIFA's case, you download this for 64-bit games, and it'll download a zip file, very small, and in the zip file you'll find one executable. You don't open the executable yet. So with the zip file open, you go into your FIFA folder, which should be, depending on where you installed it, you should be able to find it, but usually see program files x86, Origin Games, FIFA 20, here. This is where you need to drop the file. So you go back to the zip and you drag it in. So this is the part where it's the same. So if you have a PlayStation 4 controller and you came here because you're using DS4 Windows and it's not working and it's flickering through the menus on FIFA, this is what you came here to see, okay? Because with the PS4 controller connected, all you need to do, and this also applies to the PS3 controller after you've done all those steps, is open this and hit create. You'll be prompted with a window to automatically search for settings for games, but this obviously doesn't work because we're not actually using any game that this program recognizes. It'll give you an error, just press OK. Once you come here, you hit auto and yes, and this will fill the controller settings automatically. Obviously, this isn't correct. So, as you can see, it says that the left trigger is pressed. When I press the right trigger, it presses the left trigger. When I press the left trigger, it doesn't do anything. And in some cases, especially with PlayStation 4 controllers, these buttons will not be set correctly. The right analog stick will be defaulted to top left, and other kinds of stuff. So, what you need to do is map all the buttons to the correct ones. Attention with back and start, because obviously back is select, start, and start is start. But with the PlayStation 4 controller, that's not the case. So back is whatever you press to change song on FIFA. Start is whatever you press to pause the game. I don't know if it's options or share or the touchpad. I don't know. So just keep going. Do this for every single button. And just, you don't need to do this if you press the button then it's already showing up in the correct place, like mine is. You don't need to do this. But in any case, don't forget L3 and R3. A lot of people forget that. Right. So then you press save and you close. And a normal person would think you would be done. If you have a PlayStation 3 controller, you are done. If you have a PlayStation 4 controller, this is where the trick happens. I've had people come to me and say, oh, I've tried to use X360C and it's not working because I get to the game and I can't use my right analog stick. This is the trick. You come to this file, xinput13dll, you rename it, and all you need to do is change the 3 to a 4. That's it. Once you've completed all these steps, all you need to do now is open FIFA. When you open the game, you should hear Windows notification ding, as you do when you change the volume, like this. When you hear that, that means that X360C has attached itself to the game. If you don't hear that, it's probably not working, and you did something wrong. But you should hear that every time you start the game. It should automatically detect the controller and okay, now I heard it. Okay. And now the game is opening. And the controller should be working. Like I said, unlike DS4 Windows and input map or another software. You don't need to open this or start this with Windows. It automatically starts with the game and attaches itself to the game. And now I'm using the PS3 controller. You don't know that I am because I don't have a camera on, but I can assure you that I am. And I'm going through the menus and all that. And this would also happen with DS4 Windows and such, but you would get to the main menu, it would start flickering through the menus, or you wouldn't be able to use the right stick, something like that. But hopefully, when you reach this stage, you can just use the menus normally, use the right stick, go into the arena, everything should be working fine. So yeah, I've tried to make this tutorial as easy to follow as possible. Didn't put too much thought into it, didn't script or anything. Just tried to go along as I would if I was explaining this to you in a video call or something like that. And hopefully, you got to where I am right now. You're able to use your PS3 or PS4 controller. If you can't, I'll leave my Discord ID in the description. You can contact me with any questions that you have, any steps that you think you did wrong, anything you think I can help you with, and I'll be glad to help.